Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
During the last few years, we've ventured into a lot of different fields, and we've had the opportunity to meet and work with a lot of wonderful people. I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Congratulations, Mr. Mickey Mouse. Congratulations to you. Congratulations, your picture show was fine. It's a hit, and we want to shake your hand. Congratulations, happy days to you. You sure brought down the house, and we hope you have a lot of success. Congratulations, Mickey Mouse.
Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to a new edition of Lunch with the Shark. I am your host, Vidal, the Shark CFO Espinosa, and we are broadcasting live for pretty much maybe the last time from this area. We're actually moving today. So we actually started today's episode with a tribute to Mickey Mouse. Today he turns 91 years old. That's and he actually looks younger than the way he started it. And it's an interesting day. And we're going to actually start with a little bit of trivia about Mickey Mouse and little unknown facts about him. So the very first fact is that Mickey Mouse has started it on over 121 theatrical releases, including short films and features. Fact number 2 is that Mickey Mouse was the first cartoon character to earn a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His star was added in November 18th, 1978, the very first cartoon. Fact number 3, Mickey Mouse has different names around the world. For example, he is known as Muse Pig in Sweden, Milao Shun in China, and Tropolino in Italy. Fact number 4, Walt Disney's original name for Mickey was Mortar. However, his wife, Lillian Disney, felt that it didn't fit the character Walt had created, and hence she actually named this character Mouse. Fact number 5, Mickey Mouse's first phrase was his now famous quote, hot dogs. It was from one of his first animated cartoons where he appeared. Fact number 6, Mickey Mouse's first appearance was in Steamboat Willie in 1928. He tuned that he was whistling is from the song Steamboat Bill by Arthur Collins. Fact number 6, the first person to give Mickey Mouse his voice was not only then Walt Disney himself. Fact number 8, while Steamboat Willie was Mickey Mouse's very first appearance, he made his feature debut in Fantasia in 1940. And fact number 9, Mickey Mouse has made 2 special appearances at the Academy Award over the years. One in 1988 and another in 2003. He presented the Oscar for Best Animated Short Film on both occasions. So, Mickey Mouse, happy birthday. And happy birthday to everyone who was born in November 18th. Kachu, happy birthday. Wishing you the best always. Hugs from the whole family primo. So, and everybody else that it's celebrating a birthday today, will never, I'll actually never forget your birthdays because it's Mickey Mouse birthday and it's our moving day. I apologize if you hear some noises in the background, but we have some people here helping us move. And to continue with this week's series, it's about communication. Communication all across the board. Communication with your team members, communication with your clients, communication with leaders, communication in general. Effective ways to communicate. And today we're going to talk about 15 effective ways to communicate. Yesterday, we spoke about the pillars on effective communication with clients. Today, we're going to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to talk about 15 keys to effectively communicate with clients. Here, it's so funny because during this week that we're talking about client communication, I've had to interact with clients and delivered hard news, deliver good news, attend pressing matters to them, and others that I've been like, dude, like this morning, I got an email from someone this morning, and she said, you know what, I don't appreciate you signing a document on my behalf, and this is a felony. I don't appreciate it. Well, I actually wrote the reply. I put it on my inbox, at my outbox, and left it there for a couple hours. Then I came back, rewrote it, but with facts. First of all, we never sign a documents without prior authorization, nor fully understanding from the client that we are doing that. We always try to get a hard print. We always try to get a confirmation, so forth and so on. Mind you, this document is from January. We are in November 18th. And I responded, you know what? That document was signed internally after you agree. Please find your response or your approval to this signature. Second, this document was never utilized with any agency. It's only internal. Here are document 1, 2, and 3 that you've had in your files since February. Thank you. That was it. Facts. Facts always are king. What did I get back from them? Nothing. Nothing. Because what is it that you can do when you're trying to, like, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say other than, I'm sorry, I forgot, I'm sorry, this and that. Everything is based on communication. Every single issue we've had with this former client has been the lack of communication, has been the lack of accountability in their part. We've been waiting, we waited it for information, vital information from them, all the way from December 2019, and it was given to us 2 days ago. So, and they wanted the company to be operational back in January. We did everything in our power to make them operational in January. And they are. They are operational since January. Lack of communication, unclear communication, assuming things, and not accepting responsibility or accountability. On top of thinking that you know everything and then we are just very stupid, that's another issue. So today, I want to talk about 15 keys to effectively communicate with clients. Communication with loved ones, it's fairly natural, right? It's very easy. But communicating with clients takes a deal of patience and effort, because even though I would like to speak my mind freely with our clients, I can't. Sometimes I have to bite my tongue. Susie, very true. I understand. I wasn't talking about you. We're taking care of you, though. But sometimes I do want to bite my tongue and say, hey, you know what? The email you just sent me this morning, you're just trying to pick a fight. I am not going to fall into your game. Plain and simple. Some service providers, some clients, some vendors will do that. Because remember, not everything is personal. Nothing is personal, right? Most people will tend to make it personal. You understand how to separate that. It's not personal, right? So that's when you have to bite your tongue, step back, put yourself on their shoes, but you need outside. You need to be external. It's not personal. And it's very complicated to separate that, okay? Whether you're writing a client an email, talking with them over the phone, or having an in-person conversation with them, there are some communication tactics that you should abide by in order for that relationship to really, really last. First one, pay attention to your tone of voice. Starting from that, okay, you need to realize that even if you are providing consulting, you are advising your client, you need to realize that maybe they're not at your level and they will take everything personal, okay? They will take everything personal. You might not. You're human and things might hurt you. But pay attention to your tone of voice, okay? If you're having an in-person or phone conversation with your client, pay attention to your tone of voice. Do you sound upbeat or bored? Happy or sad? If you're one of the later two, you might want to change that. Even if you have to fake it till you make it. It's very, 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 and I cannot stand the very easy for clients or for the other person on the other line, on the other side of the phone, or in the conference Zoom, to actually get, whether you're bored, whether you're just there to be there, you're just like, shit, you know what? I'm just doing this to do it. Always answer your phone with a smile, because you can transmit that smile across your tone of voice. Be friendly. Whether you have a super upbeat and energetic personality or a more calm and laid back, doesn't really matter. What's important is that you are positive, friendly, and personable. If you're having the worst day ever, don't get it on your clients. Your clients have enough issues for you to help them with. Always be courteous. Be friendly. Say no the right way. Number 3, say no the right way. Nobody likes to hear the word no. Try to avoid this word in your client's communications at all cost. If you have exhausted all other alternatives and no is the only option left, at least phrase the no in a more positive way. For instance, we actually have exhausted every single avenue with the Internal Revenue Service for them to lift your your levy. We have done this, 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 and this, and that. The only options for you at this time are this and this and that. Maybe you have told your client that they're going to lift the levy. They're going to take the levy away. They're going to take this, but it's not possible. I did not say no in what I just told you. I said we have exhausted this methods. We only have these options. Meaning, whatever it was at the beginning, whatever our intentions were from the beginning, it's a no. Number 4, practice active listening. A huge part of what makes a great conversationalist is someone who really listens. When someone else is talking, are you really taking in what they are saying, or just thinking about restaurant you are going to go that night, what you're going to say next? Listen. Most of us listen to answer. Most of us listen to defend ourselves. Most of us do not listen. What we need to do is we need to listen to understand, analyze, and reply. That's simple. Enough. There's nothing else we can say about that. To become a better, more active listener and better conversationalist, start here. Go to a quiet place with limited distractions. Do not multitask. Please. Give the other person your full and undivided attention. Don't interrupt. Take notes if you have to. And when the person is done speaking, paraphrase or summarize what was said and provide feedback. When do you do that? We hardly do that. Be consistent. You also want to make sure that you are consistent in your messaging and the way that you communicate with your clients. From the very first interaction with you, your clients will develop certain expectations. If you are friendly and concise the first time around and then come off as standoffish and in the next conversation, your client will inevitably be a bit thrown off. We're always upbeat. I am always to the point, from the very first communication with a client to the latest one. And they expect that. I always outline everything in bullet points. Any communication that they have from me has a greeting. I always ask how they're doing. I hope that you are, or this email finds you well. And I outlined A, B, C, D, and E. Solutions, A, B, C, D, and E. Very much. My information on how to contact, and that's what they can expect from me. Every single time. Speak their language. Part of great communication is adapting your style to the person that you're speaking with. If your client uses a very formal tone, respond in a formal tone. If they are more casual and playful, respond similarly. This doesn't mean that you have to be an entirely different person or change the way you are. But if you want your client to feel a stronger bond with you, you should adapt your communication style to fit theirs. Very, very simple. Mirror them, and you will gain more trust. Okay? Pay attention to formatting. When styling your emails or documents, pay close attention to the formatting to make sure your message is more readable. People don't read emails. People don't read documents. In general, trust me, they don't read. Okay? They want concise, they want the nuggets of the important thing that you are going to try to communicate. Give them those. Give them those nuggets, those bullet points. That's what I do. You know what? No, you're not being audited. This is how much you owe. This is how we can pay it. Do you want us to pay it? Like a telegram. Maybe you're a millennial and don't remember or know telegrams, but you do know Twitter when they had very minimum characters. I think it was 181 or something. I don't remember because I've never used Twitter at all. So Twitter, it's like a modern telegram where you can only send, or you could only send a few characters, right? So your communication, when it comes to an email or a document, should be like a telegram, okay? I'm alive, send money, this account. Plain, right? Like that. So your formatting should be that. And now we come to the number 8. Be clear and concise. I just said it. Chances are your client is short on time. And they are. We are always short on time. And they don't have time to try to interpret an email that you send them, or it's very long. Convoluted voicemails that you leave them. So don't be vague. Be as clear and specific as possible in your delivery. Don't assume. Don't think for them. Ask them a very concise question. Provide them clear solutions. Don't intertwine, like a bowl of yarn that your drop and your cat tangled. No, don't do that. Be clear, concise, and to the point. Clear. Number 9, always say please and thank you. Always say please and thank you. I receive sometimes emails from, hey, I need this. You know what? A good morning and thank you will take you a long way. Even though you're paying me. Just show a little bit of etiquette, not even politeness, etiquette, right? Even if I have already said good morning and I'm responding to your email chain for the 5th time, I always started by the client's name, good morning or good afternoon. Regardless, I always say good morning or good afternoon. And I always thank them for their time and their response. And I don't do it because I have to do it. I do it because it's part of who I am. We need to be polite, right? Remember, your communication with your client should always be the way you want to be communicated to. You always need to be, always be the way you want to be reciprocated. I'm gonna tell you a story. Yesterday, a day before yesterday, I had to call the franchise tax board in California, right? And I was trying to negotiate an agreement, not an agreement, lift a levy for a client of ours, right? So I called the number, right? And they call me like 4.5 hours later because I requested them to call me back. Okay, so I said, you know what? We need to see why this levy was created. Blah, 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 blah. We need to know the story, see how we can fix it. And that was really, really nice, right? Even though it's the state of California. This lady that answered, she's like, well, you know what? What's your client's social security number? Some questions, my number, blah, 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 blah. So I gave them all that. And she starts lecturing me. She starts like, well, you should have your clients pay on time because this and this and that, da 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 da. Like really, her tone of voice was lecturing me. And at this point, I'm like, well, the document says this. We need more clarity. What is it that happened? So we can figure out a plan to attack this. I said, we've sent a payment of $4,520, which is in the document. He's like, oh, no, you're short. And before I can do anything, you have to pay the difference. And what's the difference? Obviously, I'm not in your computer. I don't know what's the difference. I am going based on your communication, the state's communication. I said, oh, you're short $6. I cannot lift anything unless you pay $6. By that point, I'm furious, right? And I said, lady, you can't lift. I already pay you close to $5,000. And you can't do anything for $6 left? Isn't there a way you can adjust, give us an abatement, something? I'll pay you as soon as you lift this. No, we can't do anything because the state of California has borrowed money to cover your taxes. I said, well, my taxes pay every single state employee. Oh, no, that's not true. Lady, where do you think the money comes for your salaries? I had an epiphany there. Dude, where do they think the money comes from? What's the state's business? They're not in business. They're just collecting taxes. My point here is be treated or treat the other person on the other side of your communication the way you want to be treated. Say please, thank you. Make things easy for them. This lady was not making things easy for us. Dude, I was on hold 4.5 hours. It was a very simple solution. I already pay you. Here's the confirmation number. You gave me a lecture of almost 15-20 minutes, and I cannot hang up because I would have had to wait 4.5 additional hours. You cost me half an hour of salary for you. Plain and simple. Make things easier for them. Like I said, your client is short on time. So when you're communicating with your client, you want to make things as easy as possible for them. Anticipate questions. That's number 11. Before getting into each meeting, be prepared for the questions that you will probably be asked and know how you will respond to each of them. Before we meet with our clients on a quarterly basis, I actually ask them prior to the meeting, what are the topics that they would like to go over on top of the ones that I have already prepared for them, which is reading the financial statements for them, because I actually don't want them to learn how, well, not to learn, but for them to read them because they might understand other things that they are there, right? If they know how to read them, I really appreciate that because they're going to ask me hard questions about their numbers. They know which lines to question, to ask me how they can improve. And then I have questions for them based on those numbers, right? So I anticipate those questions. Number 12, ask questions as needed. Okay? So ask questions as needed. It's very simple as well. Like, you anticipate questions, you ask questions. The better questions you ask, the better communication results, solutions you're going to get and give them. Okay? Don't be shy about asking them questions yourself to your clients. Hey, what do you do to increase your revenue this? Have you analyzed or have you thought about What actions you took? Did you documented them? If not, we document them and send them an email. Hey, your month of October has been the best month ever. What you guys has did this. Replicate it. Number 13, pay attention to nonverbals. Ooh. Remember, communication is verbal and nonverbal. If they're sitting like this, or if they're in their phone while you're talking to them in their quarterly meeting, or saying, hey, the IRS is going to go knocking on your door, so be prepared. And they're like, they don't care. Verbal and written communication isn't the only thing that matters. Nonverbal communication is just as important. When you're talking with your client in person, pay attention on how you are presenting yourself non-verbally. What is your posture? How your body language? Are you making eye contact? It's very important from you to them and from them to you. I'm actually really good on reading non-verbal signals and reading people. I don't know why, but I'm really, really good on doing that. And I know from the moment I meet you how the relationship is going to go, whether we want to work with you or not. Trust me, the email that I got this morning, I knew from the very first moment back in December 13th, 2019, that was not going to be a good relationship. And by February, we had ended it. I knew that. And not because of the other members, owners, because of the person who was in charge of the project. That person thinks that they know everything that there is to know about business. When a business that is booming, when you have experience, when you've sat at the CEO chair for years, my respects, you are ready to move on. But when you've been a employee, supervisor, and you think you can do the CEO's work, manage, do this, do that, blah, 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 we have a problem. When you don't listen to advice, and you always do this, again, that's nonverbal as well. Paraphrase and summarize. 14. This is very, very complicated to do. But always paraphrase and summarize. When you are wrapping up a conversation or meeting with a client or responding to one of their emails, paraphrase and or summarize the main points that were discussed. This will accomplish two things. It will show that you were listening, point number 4, and it will ensure that there are no mixed messages being exchanged. We are going to do this, this, and this, and this. You need to send us this and this and this. We will send you this and this and this when you provide us this and this and that. Plain and simple. Next meeting will be this date, or pending, or to be determined. Meeting adjourned. Number 15th, proofread. Lastly, in all your written communication, proofread, 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 and proofread. The quickest way to undermine your credibility is to send out an email or document written with spelling mistakes or grammar errors. So make sure that everything you send out is as error-free as possible. Also, never send an email or a communication when you are upset. Never. Ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, ever send an email when you are upset. Write it, leave it on your drafts, pending, save it. At the end of the day, go back and reread it. You might have cooled down, you might just change it. Not you must. You will change it. Trust me. Done that. And then you send it. That's my number 16th nugget. The way you communicate with your clients can and will determine whether those relationships are long-lasting or short-lived. So be intentional about your communication. Follow these tactics, and you will have client relationships that will last forever. Follow us in Instagram, please. We have fun information on Instagram. It's very simple. Just go to Instagram, search bar, Invictus Advisors, whether you want communication in English or Spanish, so USA or Mexico, and just follow us, like us, and you'll get notifications, you'll get information about who we are, what we do, when we do it, so forth, back and forth. And it's going to be fun. And maybe also you can send us messages and say, hey, Shark CFO, I don't like what you say. I think it's this and this and that. I would love to hear that. I would love to know what you think about what I believe, what I say. I know that I don't have the truth all the time. And whatever I say here, it's my beliefs and are things that I've lived, I have experience on, and I can tell you certain that they work, right? If you don't want to follow them, it's up to you. If you have an easier way to follow them, let me know. I would love to learn other ways, right? So in order today's like to follow with our tradition, we're going to end up today with a quote, yes, from Walt Disney. And he said, "It's understandable that I should have sentimental attachment for the little personage who plays so big a part in the course of Disney productions and has been so happily accepted as an amusing friend wherever films are shown around the world. He will speak for me, and I will speak for him." Walt Disney talking about Mickey Mouse. Some scholars about Walt Disney and Disneyland think that Mickey Mouse was Walt Disney's alter ego. So that he said whatever he did not have the guts to say himself. So it's been good seeing you. See you tomorrow with another episode of Lunch with the Shark and Communicating. Bon appetit. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with the Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com, and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.